In Fallout New Vegas, hidden deep in the Mojave Wasteland, there lies a vault that was promised salvation, but became the tomb of an endless green. Vault 22. To Wasteland travelers, it's the subject of rumors and half-whispered stories, a lush paradise where food grows wild and nature has reclaimed everything, but those who go searching for it never come back. Vault 22 was meant to be a miracle, a laboratory of life built to end famine forever, but within its steel walls, a simple scientific dream transformed into one of the darkest tragedies in Wastelander history. The Green Vault. Before the Great War, Vault-Tec constructed Vault 22, not as a shelter for civilians, but as a haven for scientists. Unlike other vaults that have been tested for human psychology or social decay, this one was dedicated entirely to agricultural research. Its mission was noble, to combat global hunger by developing crops that could survive any environment. Inside the vault's halls were lined with fertile soil, artificial sunlight, and carefully engineered ecosystems. Every part of Vault 22 was alive. It's called the Green Vault, a utopian project where humanity and nature could coexist. The scientists experimented with advanced fertilizers, plants, genetics, and pest control methods. Their goal is to make crops resistant to drought, disease, and insects, to create the perfect harvest for a starving world. But some of their samples came from far more dangerous sources, experimental materials donated by pre-war defense contractors. Among them was one biological weapon designed as agricultural aid, a fungus known as Biovra mordicana. Sorry guys, I can't pronounce that. Originally designed at Big Mountain's X-22 Botanical Garden, the fungus was engineered to infect and kill insects. Once a pest was exposed to the spores, the fungus spread through its body, slowly consuming it from the inside until it died. The fungus then controlled the host's motor functions, using the corpse to spread more spores. In theory, it was a perfect solution to pest problems. In practice, it was the vault's doom. The infection. For a time, everything seemed to be going well. Crops flourished, pests vanished, and researchers praised their success. They had no idea their so-called miracle fungus was evolving, adapting, waiting for new hosts. Hosts like them. The first victim was Dr. Harrison Peters. His logs describe it in chilling detail: a persistent cough, fever, shortness of breath. Symptoms the team thought were pneumonia, but the truth was far worse. The fungus had entered his lungs, spreading through his bloodstream and rejecting all antifungal treatment. Within days, he was dead, and then he moved again. The fungus reanimated his corpse, turning him into something new, something horrifying, a creature later named a spore carrier. These creatures were once human, their bodies overtaken by the fungus, their minds erased. Driven only by instinct, they attacked anything living to spread their infection further. The spores filled the air, drifting through the ventilation systems. Within weeks, the infection spread across the entire vault. The scientists tried to contain it, sealing off the floor's isolating sections, but the fungus was already airborne, invisible, unstoppable. What had once been a bright green paradise turned into a suffocating jungle of death. Bodies sprouted with vines, walls cracked open with roots. And the silence, the infected continued to move. Vault 22 had achieved what it set to do. It had created a life that could survive anything, even humanity itself. The collapse of the vault. As the infection spread, panic consumed the survivors. The final overseer, Jay Hendricks, authorized desperate measures. The team planned to pump flammable gas through the lower vault levels, then ignite it, burning away every trace of the fungus. But before the plan could be carried out, the infected attacked. Some theories suggest the gas made the spore carriers more aggressive, driving them into a frenzy. They tore through the survivors before the ignition sequence could even be activated. Gas was never lit, the scientists were slaughtered, and in the year 2096, Vault 22 was completely silent. All that remained were the dead, and the fungus that claimed them. According to the records found later, a group of 118 people fled the Vault 22 in 2096. They traveled north to Utah, seeking refuge in Zion Canyon, but what they carried with them was worse than any weapon: the spores. In Zion, the Vault 22 dwellers encountered another group of survivors, refugees from Mexico. The two groups clashed, and the Vault dwellers, armed and disciplined, wiped out the refugees in a brutal massacre. Among those who witnessed it, it was Randall Clark, the legendary survivalist of Zion. Clark watched in horror as the infected Vault dwellers murdered and ate their victims, their minds clearly slipping into madness. The infection had changed them, body and soul. Fueled by vengeance, Clark hunted them down one by one for weeks and ambushed them, set traps and destroyed their camp. Of the original 118 Vault survivors, more than 80 died by his hands. By the time the survivors realized that they were being hunted, it was too late. Weakened by disease, madness, and starvation, they fled the canyon, eating their own dead just to survive. What became of them afterwards is unknown. Some people believe that they perished in the desert. Others think they carried the spores further across the wasteland, infecting whatever settlements took them in. Their legacy survived, passed down through tribal stories in Zion, in the state of the Father of the Caves, the man who destroyed the devils from Vault 22. Rediscovery. Centuries later, in the year 2081, Vault 22 still stood beneath the Mojave, its doors open. The plants had taken over everything. Giant mantises scattered all across the corridors, while spores carrying the life of fungi wandered in the dark. Despite the danger, the Vault drew the attention of the New California Republic Office of Science and Industry. Director Thomas Hildern believed the research within could save the NCR from famine. He hired mercenaries and couriers to retrieve it, promising glory and payment. Most who entered never returned. Eventually, one of Hildern's own researchers, a scientist named Keeley, went into the Vault herself. She uncovered a full horror of what happened there. Her terminal entries revealed the gas systems were still functional, and that the last scientist had tried to burn the fungus out. The plan now was to do the same. Whether the courier helps her recover the data or destroy it, one thing remains clear. Some knowledge was never meant to be reclaimed. Closing. Today, Vault 22 stands as one of the most haunted remnants of the old world. The air inside is thick with spores, the walls pulse with growth, and the sound of shuffling feet can be heard echoing through the overgrown halls. For the Mojave, Vault 22 is a cautionary tale, a reminder that humanity's thirst for progress can so easily turn into its downfall. The scientists of Vault 22 wanted to feed the world. Instead, they created something that consumed it. Even now, the plants keep growing, nourished by the remains of those who once tended them. The fungus breathes, the vines creep. Even now, the plants keep growing, nourished by the remains of those who once tended them. The fungus breaths, the creep vines, the deep within the vault, the spore carriers to continue the endless cycle. Enter its air. Vault 22 is alive, and is a paradise that kills, and it waits patient and silent for the next traveler foolish enough to enter to breathe its air. If you guys like this video, and you want to see more like it, just let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for sticking to the end. I'll always appreciate you guys.